Hey, Emorations crew, buckle up, because we're about to get real. Imagine this. It's late at night, and you're staring at your phone, scrolling through someone else's highlight reel on social media. They're living your dream life, traveling, hustling, winning, and you're stuck. Angry. Not at them, not at the world, but at yourself. Why didn't you take that job? Why didn't you start that business? Why do you keep hitting the snooze button on your own potential? That knot in your stomach? That's not just regret. That's your soul screaming, "You're better than this." But here's the cold, hard truth. The biggest thing holding you back isn't your boss, your bank account, or bad luck. It's you. The version of you that's too scared to change. The version that's loyal to comfort, to safety, to the story you've been telling yourself about who you are. Welcome to Emorations, where we don't sugarcoat the truth. Today, we're diving into a concept that might make you squirm. To win, you must first betray yourself. Yeah, betray. Not your friends, not your family, not your dog. You, the old you, the one who's been keeping you small, predictable, and stuck. Because if you want to build the life you're dreaming of, whether it's a thriving business, a killer career, or just the confidence to walk into a room and own it, you've got to kill the parts of yourself that are holding you back. This isn't about fluffy affirmations or vision boards. This is about transformation. And transformation starts with a betrayal so raw, so personal, it feels like a punch to the gut. But stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see why betraying yourself isn't just necessary, it's the only way to become the person who wins. Inspired by the razor-sharp wisdom of Machiavelli, we're going to unpack why your loyalty to who you are is your biggest obstacle. We'll break it down with stories that hit close to home, sprinkle in some humor to keep it real, and wrap it up with practical steps to start betraying the old you starting today. So grab a drink, silence your phone, and let's dive into the deep end. This is Emorations, and we're about to rewrite the rules of your life. Let's set the scene. It's 3 a.m. and you're wide awake, staring at the ceiling fan spinning like your thoughts. You're replaying that moment at work when you could have spoken up but didn't. That idea you had for a side hustle but never started. That dream you keep shoving into the someday drawer. You're pissed. Not at the world, but at yourself. Why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep choosing comfort over courage? That feeling? It's not just frustration. It's a signal. Your mind, your heart, your gut are telling you that the person you are right now isn't built for the life you want. You're loyal to an outdated version of yourself, the one who plays it safe, who wants to be liked, who thinks being yourself means staying the same forever. But here's the kicker. That loyalty is your prison.
Let me tell you about my buddy, Mike. Mike was the guy everyone loved. Funny, kind, always the first to pick up the tab at happy hour. He had this dream of becoming a stand-up comedian. He'd crack us up at parties, doing impressions of our boss, or telling stories that had us crying laughing. But whenever I'd push him to try an open mic night, he'd laugh it off. "Nah, man, that's not me. I'm not that guy. I'd bomb and everyone would think I'm a loser." Mike was loyal to his image of himself. The chill guy, the safe guy, the guy who doesn't take big swings. And you know what? Mike's still telling the same jokes at the same bar, still dreaming, still stuck. Why? Because he refused to betray the version of himself that was comfortable being the funny friend instead of the star on stage. Sound familiar? Maybe you're not Mike, but I bet there's a part of you that's clinging to an identity that's not working anymore. Maybe you're the reliable one who never says no, even when it burns you out. Or the nice one who's afraid to negotiate because you don't want to seem greedy. Or the authentic one who thinks success means selling out. Whatever it is, that loyalty is your anchor, keeping you stuck while others sail toward their dreams. The world doesn't reward loyalty to your old self. It rewards those who evolve, who adapt, who aren't afraid to break their own rules. And that's where Niccolo Machiavelli comes in. A guy who saw the world for what it is, not what we wish it to be. Niccolo Machiavelli wasn't some evil mastermind plotting world domination in a creepy castle. He was a 15th century Italian philosopher who looked at human nature with ice-cold clarity and wrote it all down in his book, The Prince. His big idea? If you want to win, whether it's power, success, or survival, you have to do what's necessary, not what's nice, not what's moral, not what makes you feel good about yourself. What's necessary. And sometimes that means betraying your own identity, your own ideals, your own comfort zone. Machiavelli's most famous line is, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." But don't get it twisted. He wasn't saying you should be a jerk for fun. He was saying stop chasing approval at the expense of results. Power, influence, success, they don't come from being pure. They come from being effective. And being effective often means letting go of who you think you are. Let's make this real with a story. Meet Lisa, your classic overachiever. Straight-A student, employee of the month, the person who always has the best snacks at the office. Lisa wanted to start her own graphic design business. She had the skills, the portfolio, the vision, but every time she thought about quitting her stable 9-to-5, she froze. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm not a risk taker. What if I fail? What if people think I'm crazy?
Lisa was loyal to her identity as the dependable, risk-averse good girl. And that loyalty kept her trapped in a cubicle, designing logos for a company she didn't believe in, while her dream collected dust. Meanwhile, her co-worker, Alex, wasn't half as talented as Lisa. But Alex didn't care about being the best. He cared about results. He quit his job, started freelancing, and hustled like his life depended on it. He cold-emailed clients, took on projects he wasn't sure he could handle, and learned to fake confidence until it was real. Today, Alex runs a 6-figure design business, while Lisa is still punching the clock. What's the difference? Alex betrayed his old self, the one who doubted, who hesitated, who cared too much about looking polished. He didn't wait for permission. He didn't cling to his authentic self. He became who he needed to be to win. Machiavelli would have loved Alex, not because Alex was ruthless, but because he understood a key truth. The world doesn't care about your inner monologue. It cares about what you do. Your integrity, your doubts, your need to feel good, those are invisible. Your actions, those are what shape your reality. And if your actions are driven by an outdated version of yourself, you're going to lose. Every single time. Now let's clear something up. When I say betray yourself, I'm not telling you to become a soulless robot or a villain in a bad movie. This isn't about throwing your morals out of the window or stabbing your friends in the back. It's about recognizing that the person you are today, the one shaped by fear, habits, and other people's expectations, wasn't built for the life you want. Self-betrayal is about killing the parts of you that no longer serve you. The fear of failure, the need to be liked, the obsession with authenticity that keeps you playing small. It's about evolving into someone sharper, stronger, and more strategic. Someone who doesn't just dream about winning, but actually does it. Let's go back to Machiavelli. He said, "A prince must seem virtuous, even if he is not." Translation: appearances matter more than your inner reality. People don't judge you based on your intentions. They judge you based on your results. Your image, your actions, your impact. That's what shapes perception. That's what wins. Think about it like this. Imagine you're at a high school reunion. You're chatting with your old friend, Jen, who's still talking about her big plans to become a travel blogger. She's got the same dream she had 10 years ago, but nothing's changed. Why? Because Jen's loyal to her image as the free spirit who doesn't sell out to structure or strategy. She thinks hustling is fake, that marketing is sleazy, that success means compromising her soul.
Now, look at your other friend, Mark. Mark wasn't the coolest kid in high school. He was kind of awkward, honestly. But Mark didn't care about being cool. He cared about results. He started a travel vlog with a shaky iPhone camera and a cheap microphone. He studied SEO, learned how to pitch sponsors, and worked 80-hour weeks while Jen was finding herself on yoga retreats. Today, Mark's got 1 million subscribers, a book deal, and a life Jen can only dream of. Why? Because Mark betrayed his old self, the awkward kid who cared about fitting in. He became someone new, focused, relentless, effective. Machiavelli would say Mark understood the game. He didn't cling to an identity that wasn't working. He didn't wait for the world to validate him. He shaped himself into what the moment demanded. And that's what self-betrayal is. The courage to let go of who you were to become who you need to be. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Betraying yourself doesn't feel good. It feels like you're abandoning your values, your story, your truth. It feels like you're letting down the kid you used to be, the one who believed in fairness, goodness, and happy endings. But let me ask you something. How's that kid doing? Is he winning? Is he living the life you want? Or is he stuck in a cycle of doubt, hesitation, and missed opportunities? The cost of staying loyal to your old self is higher than you think. It's not just about missed dreams. It's about becoming irrelevant. The world doesn't wait for you to figure it out. It moves on. And every day you cling to an outdated identity, someone else is out there taking the opportunities you're too afraid to touch. Let's talk about Sarah, a single mom I know. Sarah was raised to believe that hard work and kindness would always pay off. She was the ultimate people pleaser, always saying yes, always putting others first. She wanted to start a catering business, but she was terrified. What if I let people down? What if I'm not good enough? I'm not a businesswoman. I'm just Sarah. For years, Sarah stayed loyal to that identity. She worked long hours at a diner, barely making ends meet, while her catering dream lived in the back of her mind. But one day, something snapped. She was tired of being just Sarah. She was tired of watching other people live her dream. So she started small, catering a friend's birthday party, then a wedding, then a corporate event. She learned how to price her services, how to market on social media, how to say no to clients who didn't respect her worth. It wasn't easy. She had to betray the old Sarah, the one who was afraid of conflict, who thought ambition was selfish, who wanted everyone to like her. Today, Sarah's catering business is booming. She's not just surviving, she's thriving. She's not just Sarah anymore. She's a boss, a leader, a woman who commands respect, and she got there by betraying the parts of herself that were holding her back.
Machiavelli would nod in approval. He'd say, Sarah understood the law of power. The world bends to those who act, not those who wait. And action requires you to let go of the illusions that keep you small. So, how do you do it? How do you betray yourself without losing your soul? Let's break it down into practical steps, because this isn't just philosophy, it's a roadmap. Step 1. Face the mirror. Take a long, hard look at yourself, not your Instagram self, not your best life self, the real you. Ask yourself, what's holding me back? Is it fear of failure? Fear of judgment? A need to be liked? Write it down. Be brutal. The first step to betrayal is knowing what you're betraying. For me, it was perfectionism. I used to think everything I did had to be flawless, or it wasn't worth doing. That mindset kept me from starting this channel for years. I had to betray that perfectionist self, the one who was waiting for the perfect moment that never came. Step 2. Identify your old story. We all have a story we tell ourselves. I'm not a leader. I'm not good with money. I'm too shy. That story isn't who you are. It's who you've been trained to be by your parents, your teachers, your failures. Write down the story you're loyal to. Then ask, does this story serve my goals? If it doesn't, it's time to burn it. Take my friend Chris. His story was, I'm just a tech guy. He was a brilliant coder, but he stayed in the background fixing bugs for other people's apps. He wanted to build his own startup, but his story told him he wasn't that guy. He had to betray that story, start pitching investors, and learn to sell himself. Today, his app has thousands of users, and he's living a life he never thought was possible. Step 3. Act against your comfort zone. Self-betrayal isn't just a mindset, it's action. Do something your old self would never do. Speak up in a meeting, pitch that client, sign up for that course. It's going to feel wrong, like you're faking it. That's the point. You're not faking it, you're becoming it. When I started Emorations, I was terrified of being on camera. I'm an introvert, not a YouTube star. But I betrayed that introverted self. I hit record, stammered through my first videos, and kept going. Every video was a small betrayal of the guy who wanted to stay behind the scenes. And now, this channel is my life's work.
Step 4. Surround yourself with winners. You can't betray yourself in a vacuum. Surround yourself with people who push you, who challenge your old identity, who don't let you stay comfortable. Ditch the friends who enable your excuses. Find mentors, join masterminds, follow people who scare you a little because they're so far ahead. Machiavelli said a prince needs advisors who tell the truth, not what he wants to hear. Your circle is your advisory board. If they're keeping you small, it's time to betray that circle. Step 5. Embrace the pain. Transformation hurts. It feels like you're losing yourself. You'll doubt yourself, second-guess yourself, maybe even hate yourself for a while. That's normal. Growth is pain, but the pain of staying the same is worse. It's the slow, suffocating pain of regret, of watching your dreams slip away while you cling to an identity that doesn't work. Sarah, the caterer, she cried herself to sleep the first time a client criticized her food, but she kept going. She betrayed the people-pleaser inside her and became a businesswoman who could handle the heat. The pain was her proof of progress. Here's the good news. Self-betrayal isn't the end. It's the beginning. When you let go of the old you, you make space for something new, someone powerful, someone free. You're not abandoning your soul, you're unlocking it. Machiavelli knew this. He didn't advocate for betrayal to be cruel. He advocated for it to be effective. The world is a battlefield, whether it's business, relationships, or your own mind. And in that battle, your softness, your hesitation, your need for approval, they're liabilities. But when you betray those liabilities, you become unshackled. You become strategic. You become a player who can win. Let's wrap this up with one final story. Meet Emily, a quiet artist who always felt like she was too sensitive for the real world. She wanted to sell her paintings, but was terrified of rejection. Her old self told her, "You're not a salesperson, you're an artist, stay pure." But Emily was tired of being broke, tired of hiding her work in her garage. So she betrayed that sensitive artist. She learned to market her paintings, built a website, and started reaching out to galleries. She faced rejection after rejection, but she kept going.
Today, Emily's art hangs in galleries across the country, and she's living a life she never thought possible. Emily didn't stop being an artist. She became an artist who wins. She betrayed the parts of herself that were afraid of the spotlight, and in doing so, she set herself free.
So, what's the takeaway? Winning isn't about being the best version of your current self, it's about becoming a new self altogether. The world doesn't care about your intentions, your fears, or your authenticity. It cares about your results. And to get results, you have to betray the parts of you that are holding you back. Here's how you start today. 1. Write down your old self. List the traits, habits, and beliefs that define you right now. Be honest. Which ones are keeping you stuck? 2. Choose one betrayal. Pick one trait or habit to betray this week. If you're shy, speak up in a meeting. If you're a procrastinator, start that project today. If you're a people pleaser, say no to something that doesn't serve you. 3. Track your progress. Every small betrayal is a step toward power. Keep a journal of your actions and how they make you feel. You'll see the old you fading and the new you emerging. 4. Find your why. Why do you want to win? Is it freedom, security, legacy? Keep that why in front of you. It's your fuel when the betrayal feels heavy. Machiavelli wasn't a monster. He was a realist. He saw that the world rewards those who act, not those who dream. And the first action is always internal. Betray the doubts, the fears, the need to be liked. Become the person who can handle the battlefield of life, because that's where the real victories are won. This is Emorations, and we're not here to make you feel good, we're here to make you great. The life you want is on the other side of betrayal. Not of others, but of the old you. So, what are you waiting for? The world isn't going to hand you the crown. You've got to take it, and the first step is killing the version of you that's too afraid to try. Drop a comment below and tell us, what's one part of yourself you're ready to betray to win? Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and join the Emorations crew as we keep breaking down the truths that set you free. Until next time, stop dreaming, start doing, and betray the hell out of anything that's holding you back.